So when I first get up, I have to drink my coffee and get my Roots and Refuge fix. After that, it was off to let the chickens out. It was a little cold last night, so I shut them up in there to kind of retain the heat. Hey girls. Hello everyone. So today I thought that I would do a different kind of video. I enjoy watching these kinds of videos, so I thought maybe I should give it a try and see if any of you like it too. But it's like a day in the life type of video. I have a bunch of little things I have to do. Just thought I'd take you along with me. Oh, I wanted to show you. I got my Duluth overalls and I love them. They're, I forget what type they are, but like they're the soupy, oh shoot. Pop the button out. But they're the super stretchy kind. And I thought about getting, I like my clothes to be roomy. I don't like things to be tight. So I had thought about getting the size large. And my husband was like, well, they're stretchy. Don't do that. Get the medium. And I read some of the reviews and some of them said, yeah, you know, if you like a bigger size down. So I got the medium and so I am, I'd say, I'm going to divulge some information to you here. I'm 5'4". I don't like to weigh myself, so I think I'm between like 150 and 160, 150 and 160 pounds. I don't really have like a stomach, but I do have a big rear end. And then there's also, definitely some stretch. So if you have, a little pooch or something that it would, be tight to you, but they're really comfortable and there's like so many pockets. Like I don't know what to do with all these pockets, but now that I have these, I feel like I'm a real farm girl, I got my chickens and I'm gonna try them out today and do my errands in my new Duluth overalls. Don't really have like a full-length mirror, but this is sort of what I got. I'm trying to kind of show you what they look like. And I got the pants, because they do come in shorts too, but today's a little bit of a cooler day. So the first task today is going to be picking dandelions. My pet rabbit Elly loves dandelions. She especially loves the green parts, but she also loves the flowers. I try to get a bunch of the stem part because she does enjoy the long stem. Now we're going to give her a little handful of them. There she is. There we go. Oh boy. Next, I needed to up-pot these tomato plants. So it's actually 2 tomatoes in this small pot, and they are struggling. It's too small of a pot for the 2 of them. I might have gotten away with 1 tomato, but I left 2 tomato plants in it, so I'm going to put it in this bigger pot. You can see how much bigger it is. And that should be pretty good for both of those, I'm thinking. They have a ton of flowers on both of the tomato plants. I'm so excited to have some cherry tomatoes. And it should be soon. Now I'm just taking this out into the garage where I can fill the rest of the pot up with soil. Now I'm just watering it in with some fish fertilizer and water. Anytime you up-pot or plant something or move a plant, you want to water it immediately after. It helps to get out any air bubbles or air pockets that are in the soil around where the root system is. And these tomatoes just sit right in my kitchen windowsill here. they look like they're getting enough light, so I'm leaving them there for now. Okay, so when I make chicken salad, I've made it before with like cooked chicken, but I've started making it with my canned chicken. I canned this one up in July of 2020. It was opened by my daughter. Her and her boyfriend made some fettuccine alfredo, chicken fettuccine alfredo, and used some of it in that. So I'm going to use the rest of it, and then I'm going to use, that's the last one of the 2020 chicken. And then I'm going to use this one that I canned in November of last year. And when I make chicken salad, I like to load it up with stuff. Nuts, lots of dried fruit and regular fruit, I don't know, but I have some currants, which are like little teeny weeny raisins. They're like smaller raisins, but they taste like raisins. They're really good. Golden raisins, I guess you should say. And then this mixture here, I really rammed them in there. It has golden raisins, cranberries. I also don't like to put a lot of nuts. Life hack for you. Store your nuts in the freezer. They'll last longer. Nuts have oils in them that go rancid. And if you don't store them in the freezer, they'll go bad quicker. So I store all my nuts in the freezer. But I like to use walnuts. I slivered almonds or crushed almonds. I use pecans, chopped pecans. I'll have to chop up the walnuts. And then basically for the dressing, I just use mayonnaise and a little bit of sugar. First, I'm going to add in just a handful of currants, a handful of golden raisins, a handful of the cranberries and golden raisin mixture, a handful of the sliced almonds, a handful of the, well, I'm just going to put the rest of this bag of pecans in there. A couple handfuls of the walnuts. So this one's already been opened, and this one has not. We're gonna listen for the sound. There it is. And when you do canned chicken, or it's sometimes called ugly chicken, it gets like this, because you're canning it raw. You put it in the can raw, it gets this weird white filmy stuff on it. So what I'll do is I'll dump this into a colander and I rinse it. See this weird like white stuff that's on the jar there? I mean, it's, if you eat it, it's not gonna hurt you, but it's just kind of gross looking, so I'm just gonna rinse it off. Then in goes, I'm just gonna break it up a little bit. Canned chicken just kind of falls apart, so you can crush it really easily. It is great for like doing like barbecue cornbread bakes. I use canned chicken, like I said. My daughter used it for fettuccine alfredo. It's also really good for buffalo chicken dip. One of these days I'm going to can up some chicken and I'll show you how easy it is. If canning meat, if you're a canner and you've never canned meat before, it's like one of my favorite things to can, just because it's meat. And it is just so versatile. You can add it to just so many things and make meals quick and easy. Now we're going to add in, you could do celery, but I don't have any. I like to do celery, but now I'm just going to slice up some green and red grapes. My daughter loves grapes, so a lot of grapes go into it. Even my darling Rona loves canned chicken. Add in all the grapes. Okay, I'm going to give it a stir to see if I have enough grapes. Consistency, enough nuts and things like that in it. I definitely needed to add in some more grapes. My daughter loves grapes, so grapes she gets. So that's a lot of chicken salad, but we will go through it pretty quickly. Sandwiches, we like it on crackers, we like it just straight up. So, need a lot of mayonnaise. I'm going to start out with a little bit of sugar, and I'll mix it up and see how it tastes. You want to come try this, see if it's got enough grapes and mayo to your liking. Do you want to be on camera trying it? I'm putting that in there. So these are the onions that I grew last year from onion sets, and we need to learn to use them up a little bit quicker, but some of them are going bad and also starting to sprout, as you can see right there. So I decided that I was going to cut them up and freeze some of them. And I like to store my onions separated in pantyhose. So I just stick an onion in, tie a knot, stick another onion in, tie a knot. And so this is me taking them out of the pantyhose. Now I'm just going through, getting rid of all the funky stuff. And then I chop them up and I put them in Ziploc baggies and I stick them in the freezer. Next, I am going to get a big pot of boiling water going, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that a little bit later. Sneak peek. See those dead weeds right there in my walkway? So I needed to get a handle on this front yard. Look at all those weeds right there. So today is weeding day and picking up the leaves day. And then I found a couple of my chasers balls. I'm going to put these up. Every time something like this happens, when I find something of his, it's just like losing him all over again. So there really isn't anything planted right here in front of the house, or at least in front of the door. There's a few things, but this area right here is where Chase used to come right out and pee everywhere. So I couldn't grow anything. I've tried a couple of times and he would just end up killing it, so I stopped planting anything. But I do at some point think I would like to plant some azaleas on each side of where the steps are. Whew. And there it is, all nice and cleaned up. And here is where the boiling water comes in. So a natural way to get rid of weeds, like in your walkway or places that you don't have anything growing that you want there, just boil some water and then dump it on them. And as you can see, what I was showing you earlier, I did this a few days ago. I guess it's about a week ago. And you can see how they're just dead. They've yellowed and they've just turned to powder when you go to get them up. So I'm just dumping it all over, killing all the weeds. So now I've got it all edged and weeded there in the front. I am going to take this wheelbarrow full of weeds and stuff to my chickens to sort through. Here they come. And back to the weeding. So I like to collect all my leaves in a trash can and a black trash bag, like I have here. And then once I have a bunch of bags full, I will then mulch them up really well. And once again with the boiling water, I'm just being very careful to precisely put it where I want it. So probably about 7 years ago, I'm not quite sure how long, I redid this entire brick walkway myself. It was a hot mess. You couldn't even see it because of all the weeds. So I pulled it all up, redid the sand underneath, and relaid the brick all myself. So after all that hard work, making sure to keep it from being overtaken by weeds again is very important to me. So over here, I'm going to show you, I have last year put cardboard down, and then I abruptly ended that project. But you can see where all the cardboard is, and then you can see the area where I did not put the cardboard down, and the weeds are just overtaking it. So that needs to be rectified. So I ended up today getting it all weeded, but I did not have any mulch, so I didn't put any cardboard down. I will do that tomorrow, I think. Now this little area here had a lavender plant, and I needed to trim it down. Cleaning up the leaves now. Leaves are a good insulator for winter, but not as pretty to look at now. And these were some absolutely gorgeous snapdragons. So I'm trimming them down. It looks like this one came back. Some of them look like they did not. But I found a couple new ones that had seeded, so that's cool. So you can see it looks like this snapdragon on the left here came back. The one on the right, I'm not so sure about, but there's the one on the left. There's the one on the right. So last thing I'm going to show you is the potato bed. Looky there. You can see that they're all starting to pop up. I got so excited when I saw the green that I had to walk down here and just show you guys. They're starting to pop up all over. Even some of the beans are popping up. And I have not watered this not once. And when I'm all done with that hard work, something I like to do is swing. I find it very relaxing. I know it's kind of a childlike thing to do, but I realize I'm not a child, but I do what I want.